Smashing Pumpkins frontman Billy Corgan was recently on Last Call with Carson Daly, and he was very candid with the fact that he's attempted or almost attempted to commit suicide 3 or 4 times. And I say 3 or 4 times because that's exactly was his quote. This was really tragic. I don't even know if Carson Daly was expected to hear him be so candid about that. Thoughts, 5 words or less?
This really resonates with me.
5 times is a charm.
Everyone step back from the ledge.
This makes me so sad. Was this surprising to you to find out that he not only contemplated committing suicide, but contemplated committing suicide 3 or 4 times? And I should say, he actually went on to tell Carson that he went to the extent of actually planning out his death, his funeral, and giving away his possessions to friends and family. So that's pretty extensive.
It is sad. I'm a huge Smashing Pumpkins fan, but Billy Corgan is also known as being like a control freak, a megalomaniac, really full of himself and stuff like that. But not to say that makes it better or worse, but maybe people that are feel so strongly about themselves are the most critical, and then it kind of like it implodes within, you know.
That's really interesting.
I feel like the people that are most controlling and most perfectionistic, I guess, I don't know, tend to hate themselves the most. They're so hard on themselves. That's why they're so hard on other people, because they're so hard on themselves.
The more people that love them, sometimes the more they, hate themselves.
Yeah. That's like a point I had. It's like, nobody could hate me more than I hate myself, which is, it's terrible. It sounds terrible, but at the same time, no matter what your profession is, whether you're an artist or any profession in the entire world, like
Subway sandwich artist,
whatever your profession is, like say he made something that was genius at one time. Personally, I think he's always been a genius. It sucks to have somebody be like, I miss the old you, or you used to be so good at something. What happened? You evolve, you change. It's not fair.
It's not fair. There's a lot of criticism. I mean, we even see it on a smaller degree here on YouTube. There's so much hate out there. There's so much hate. So when people point things out, it's like I haven't noticed that, people. You know what I mean? Like when people point out things about yourself physically, we already know. You don't need to point that out. And when people rag on you, like you said, I think for me personally, I'm really hard on myself as it is. So do you guys think on more of a broader scale that within this situation and just celebrities in general, do you think that they're happy people? I mean, you see, one example could be Kurt Cobain, the frontman of Nirvana. He committed suicide. And so do you think that fame and wealth and success equate happess?
I think they're the same as everybody else. I really do.
I think there's a price to pay for success. You know what I mean?
Really?
There's if you're successful, there also means you could also be a failure, you know, and you have to be willing to deal with that. Especially if you're on drugs and you're always up and there's no more drugs, and then it's like, what's my reality now?
That's interesting, and I think too, what's really important to recognize is a lot of these artists, they're brilliant in the fact that they are tortured souls, and then when they spill that into their lyrics or their performances, it does resonate with a lot of their audience, and that's what makes them successful. So it's this double-edged sword. You know, you try and go to rehab. Oh, now that he's not on drugs, he's not as creative.
But maybe without his depression or his kind of introspectiveness, he might not have made the music that he made if he was like totally stoked.
What price do you pay for that? Like, how far are you going to go?
I feel like we're all walking bodies of pain, but artists are more in touch with that, and they just display it through their work. A lot of art comes from pain. So when that art then gets celebrated, they're celebrating that person's pain. So it amplifies it, and then that's what they're living in, and sometimes it feels like suicide is the only way out of that pain.
Maybe he feels like he needs to up it more. He's like, well, I already dealt with this at one point, so now I have to deal with something else even bigger to make a better art.
So many times I'm like, I make my best work when I'm depressed. Oh, I guess I have to be depressed to make my best work, and then you delve into that depression.
There is a large audience, obviously, that resonates with it. That's it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to Pop Trigger on Pop Cultured, and let us know your thoughts, 5 words or less, or whatever the hell you want to say, and we'll see you all next time on Pop Trigger.